WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
You're listening to Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, Shea Automotive Group, and 103.9 The Fox. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. We are talking today to Nathan Adams from Financial Plus Credit Union. Hi, Nathan. How are you today?
I'm very good, Tracy. How are you?
I'm very, very good. And I wanted you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell our listeners what you do at Financial Plus Credit Union.
Okay. I'm the Director of Commercial Services, and I manage a small group of business commercial loan officers. And so I oversee kind of the business lending side for Financial Plus, and we help members with acquiring businesses, financing equipment, buildings, working capital.
Great. Well, that's wonderful because, all the businesses out there right now, especially with everything that went on with COVID, have issues financially and they're looking for help. So they would come to you, right? And with their questions?
Yes.
All right, cool. But today you wanted to talk about business succession planning. Is that right?
Correct.
So here's the first question. What is that?
Well, ironically, I found this statistic from the Small Business Administration that in the next 10 to 15 years, approximately 70% of privately owned businesses with an estimated net worth of $10 trillion will exchange hands. Mm-hmm. So that number kind of was quite staggering to me, kind of as, baby boomers age and they have companies that they need to sell. And I think succession planning is one of those things that people think about but don't ever do anything with because there's a lot to it, and nobody really likes to think about how they're selling their business or how they're exiting. So right. But it's something that you have to.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't have family coming behind them to take it over, right? The kids are going into something else, or.
Yep. Or the kids are in the business and they don't have the right skill set to kind of run and grow the business or own the business themselves. Right.
So if you're in a position to where you're thinking about this, how can they plan to exit their business safely and keep the business going?
Yep. So really, you've got four options. One is kind of what we just talked about, transferring the business to your heirs. But really, the questions to ask are, do you have a family member who wants to step into your role? What types of roles will family members who are not actively involved in the business play? Do family issues regarding the business need to be resolved? And then where do the funds come to buy mom and dad out? So option two would be to sell the business to your partners. And part of that process would be, do you have a buy-sell agreement in place? Do you have life insurance that's set up to basically fund the sale of the business if something were to happen to a partner? Or option three would be sell the business to a key employee. And then what steps do you take today to make that key employee ready to buy the business? Or option four would be to sell the business to an outside buyer.
Right.
And how do you go about doing that? hire a broker? Do you network? So
yeah, and how do you find an interested party? And I'll let you in on, or let our listeners in on a little secret. We get calls. My office does. I am the economic development person for Flint Township. So I get calls from people who have a business that are looking to leave it, don't have family, just like you were talking about, don't have somebody to come in after them, and they're looking for a buyer. And I know that the county chamber gets those same calls. So if somebody out there is listening that's interested in acquiring an already established business, give me a call at the office or email me at the office, and we can try to help you out and get you in touch with these people that are doing it. But you're talking about dealing with the person that has the business right now. So how do they determine what that business is worth to even come up with a proposal for buyers?
Yeah, so really there's three ways to do it. Just kind of on an asset valuation, equipment inventory, real property, intellectual property, or doing a valuation on income based on current revenues plus, future revenue growth, and then kind of a market value based on recent sale prices of similar businesses in the area. So similar thought process to an appraisal of a home or a business, real estate wise, but but one of the key factors, based on my experience, is finding really an independent third party to provide that valuation. So a business owner always is going to overvalue his business, and the incoming buyer is always going to undervalue it.
Sure.
So it's always important to find a third party business valuation company, which many CPA firms in the area actually have practices that are set up to do these business valuations. So I think that's one of the key things.
Is that something you can help the businesses to find somebody like that?
Yes.
That's part of your process? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So when should they prepare for this succession? I mean, you're not going to sit here and say, you know what, I'm done, and tomorrow I'm selling to the first person who comes along, right? So how far in advance should you be looking to prepare?
Yeah, really probably, I would say 10 years out thinking about it. If you have a partner and you don't have a buy-sell agreement, that would be something that needs to be taken care of immediately. In terms of when do you start, and that life insurance policy that would fund, kind of the, death of a partner is important as well. But in terms of just beginning the process, if you've got somebody, say you've identified a key employee as somebody who might be your successor, it's starting to train that successor and give him or her the leeway to make some decisions, be involved in strategic discussions. What I've seen in the past is many, especially when there's family involved, mom and dad run the business. They allow their kids in only to a certain degree, and they never learn how to do, really what mom and dad are doing from a strategic point. And then all of a sudden they think that their kids are ready because their kids are in the business. So really training people inside your business to be ready to, manage the business if the owner steps away, or be able to buy it.
Yeah,
and then
and really offering them almost like a apprenticeship type thing for ownership, teaching them the ropes and what you do on a day-to-day basis. And, they might even get in there and say, I don't want to do this. You never know. So you want to know that, though, before you make the plan for them to take it over. So, and when you're creating this plan, how often should you review this?
Well, you should review it often. Much like a will or a trust, things change. Life seems to change faster than ever. And really, you probably need to review it at least annually in terms of, are you on the right path? Where are you from a timing standpoint of wanting to exit the business? So really annually probably would be the answer.
Okay. And they can contact somebody at your office, or they can contact their CPA, but you will help them through this. And I imagine that there's other banking institutions that would do that as well. But if somebody wants to get a hold of you, Nathan, for you to help them out, can you give out a email address or phone number, or how do you want them to get a hold of you?
Yep, I would say phone number, and it's 810-244-2801, and then my email address is N as in Nathan, NAdams@myfpcu.com.
All right, so great. That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we leave off?
No. That's
all right. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. And if anybody has any more questions about that, you can email Nathan at nadams@myfpcu.com, or you can contact him at Financial Plus Credit Union at 810-244-2801. Thanks for being on today, Nathan.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right. Have a great day. All right. What a great interview with Nathan. We have next week, we are going to have on, me. You get to hear me again. Me and Dion from Guaranteed Rate. She's going to be on. We're going to have some discussions, and we're going to have a special guest for our Guaranteed Rate Spotlight. And we have great partners here at Discover Flint Township. We have HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, and obviously Guaranteed Rate they signed on, and 103.9 The Fox. I sit here and I think about all the things that they've helped us with over the years, and also some of the new businesses that have come in. There's just so many things to talk about. So we'll be talking about a lot of that next week. I did want to mention that we had Jersey Mike's opened. McAllister's Deli's getting close. So you'll see their building going up next to Culver's. And we've got American Freight open. Value City went in our van. So we've got a lot of new things going on. But I think we're at about the end of our day today. And I want to remind our listeners that you can email any questions that you want us to discuss on the show, or if you have any questions about something that's going on in the community, you can email me at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events, FLINTTWPEVENTS. We have a YouTube channel now, and we're putting all our videos up there of going through some of our businesses. And we also have all the radio shows in full, or you can just get the clips of just a single interview. And the YouTube channel is, guess what? Discover Flint Township. I know you're amazed, Joni, that, I'm very creative that way. And then we have our webpage is discoverflinttownship.com. and flinttownship.org, so flinttownship.org. And I need to thank Nathan Adams from Financial Plus Credit Union for coming on today, and Joni O'Sullivan Butler from John P. O'Sullivan Distributing. Thanks for coming out, Joni.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I just want to let everybody know, I'm Tracy Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director for Flint Township, and I would like to remind everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. We'll see you later.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.